Assalamualaikum. Welcome to Member Spotlight by Allied Muslim Chamber of Business. MCOB is a membership-based social enterprise with a mission to create a thriving Muslim business community. It's the power of collective wisdom, continued learning, and thought leadership brought together for Muslims by Muslims. Our core belief is that business leaders thrive when they have access to a supportive community of peers who challenge and inspire each other. Today, we have with us our members, AJ Faraj and Adi Quadri. They are driven executives with over 15 years of experience in business management, recruiting, and consulting. As founders of SorsX, also known as Google Maps of recruiting, powered by proprietary AI algorithms. Welcome, AJ and Adi.
Thank you, Kashif. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Kasha, for having us over.
Yeah, definitely. Would love to learn more about your journey. How did it all started, and what you guys are doing right now?
Maybe I'll start here. I started my journey as an entrepreneur about 15 years ago with building a company called Field Dispatcher. It was a SaaS platform for a field services company. And then I exited that company and we started another consulting firm, me and Ali, that was back in 2017 called WadiTek. We brought it into an Inc. 5000 status in a couple of years. And it was primarily, a lot of it was around recruiting and staffing. And I saw that there's a lot of opportunities to automate a lot of the processes within staffing. And so recently we started SorsX, which is the Google Maps of recruiting, to automate a lot of the processes and a lot of the inefficiencies when it comes to recruiting, going after active and passive candidates alike. And so here we are today in the world of AI, and we're, riding that wave.
All right, sounds good. What about you, Adi?
So I've actually been in this industry for, I would say, more than 15 years, and that's been in the recruiting and staffing space. So I worked before WadiTek, before me and AJ started WadiTek, with another firm. I was an exec there, grew the company to over 100 employees. We were working again with a lot of your Fortune 500 companies, state contracts and such. So I had a lot of industry experience, which I brought into WadiTek. And our journey's been good from there. Since we became Inc. 5000, we've accomplished a lot of huge milestones with WadiTek. We're working a lot with Fortune 100 companies, with state government projects, and as well as federal. So now we have, started this new journey here of SorsX, which we're extremely excited because it's about AI and staffing and recruiting. So this is a huge passionate project for us, and we're really hoping to get a lot of success in it.
And as I understand, WadiTek is also continuing the operations. That company is also ongoing, and you have started SorsX. So tell me a little bit more about, share with our audience, what problems SorsX is solving for the customers.
Yeah. So we're in a new age, new era of recruiting and AI at the moment. And so if you look at the industry, you can see a lot of inefficiencies. You can see a lot of the need for tremendous human capital, the need for tools to accomplish a lot of the tasks that I believe machine can take care of at this point of time. So the vision for SorsX is to really build a platform that doesn't necessarily have a lot of dashboards. It doesn't have a lot of filters. Google Maps, simply you tell it where you want to go. It doesn't give you 450 routes to choose from. It gives you two. You trust it 99% of the time, and you go. So the same thing applies to talent acquisition. Today in talent acquisition, I believe with AI and machine learning, our vision is for companies to come to our platform, tell it what exactly they're looking for. Our AI is autonomous, using proprietary algorithms. And what we're trying to solve for is that our AI will be sourcing on its own, for the company, looking across millions of data points. Then it will go and engage with candidates. It will interview candidates, and it will shortlist candidates. And 99% of the time, the hiring team will actually decide to select one of the candidates that the system has actually shortlisted for them. And so that's kind of the vision. What we have achieved so far, we recently soft launched the product, and we are already in 3 countries. We're in the United States, we're in Turkey, as well as UAE. And what we have a fully autonomous system now, and we are the only company in the world, we're patent pending, where we interview every applicant instantaneously. So we save companies about 2 hours, almost 2 to 3 hours on every applicant that comes in, because the system automatically and instantly interviews them. It evaluates all their credentials, and it shortlists them for the hiring team. So this is happening now, and we have a lot more features coming, and we're already generating revenue and growing as a young startup.
All right. So system is also interviewing. It's not just screening the resumes. It's actually interviewing the candidates and selecting which one is the best suited for the required based on the job descriptions.
Yes,
that's correct. So our system, so we have our proprietary algorithms work in different phases. So we have proprietary algorithms that we've been working on for almost 3 years that can detect candidates' information without having to rely on keywords. So that's what really differentiates our system from any other competitors. So basically, if a candidate doesn't necessarily have information on their LinkedIn profile or on their resume, we can usually detect if that candidate is suitable for a particular position. So that's number one. Number two, on the interviews, so our system creates automated interview questions based on the client's needs and the job description. But also companies can also, create their own questions and create the sentiment. And so when, candidates interview through video and audio with the system, it automatically and instantaneously evaluates their answers against the need of that job and creates a short list for the company.
Okay. And does your system work in any specific sector, or is it industry agnostic?
So it is industry agnostic. However, we're working currently in hospitality. We're working with major hospitality brands. We're working with tech consulting firms, as well as food and beverage manufacturing organizations. But ultimately, it is very much suitable across the board, across industries.
Okay. And is it suitable for instance, like when companies are hiring staff level or executive level? So where does your system right now, where does it fit?
So one of the things that we have seen, Kashif, since we've gone to market selling software in the talent acquisition world, is that every organization has its own processes, as we all know, especially in talent acquisition. And it's very strange to see a lot of organizations in today's world also are not using something like an applicant tracking system, despite the fact that they have, a continuous hiring and rapid hiring. And so what we came in to do, besides, looking at how organizations are actually doing their work, is that we're really trying to understand every organization's, first of all, processes, and we try to kind of consult with them to show them where we can actually fit in their particular processes. And from that, we are suitable for very much executive level as well as staff level, whether it's technical or non-technical alike. However, it all depends on their processes, and that's how we've been really successful, is like trying to reorganize a lot of the processes, because AI in organizations is not just something that sits on top. It's more of a reorganization. It's a reprocess mapping, and so this is where the value add is.
Okay. So I know with WadiTek, for example, now you guys were targeting Fortune 100 companies or Fortune 500 companies. With SorsX, who is your ideal customer?
Yep. So with SorsX, ultimately any company that is hiring anything above 4 positions every month. And the reason for that, I'm saying, is because at the moment, with the current features that we recently took to market, it is definitely suitable for organizations that are, continuously hiring. Not a company that hires every 6 months. And so, specifically, companies that are hiring a minimum of 4 positions plus every single month. Companies that are relying on posting positions across different job boards, companies that are continuously receiving, I would say a large number of applications. So I'll give you an example. Some of the hospitality brands that we're working with today are international. And so every time they open one position, sometimes they receive thousands of applicants.
Yep.
And so, our platform, we call it, it's the interviewer that, or the recruiter that never sleeps and never forgets, because we can interview ultimately 1,000 candidates in the same hour. So there's no company on earth that can actually accomplish that. However, with these applicants coming in, this is the power of using SorsX. We can ultimately, interview every single one of them, and shortlist the best candidates for the team, so that they don't even have to review any resume or do the initial screening for these candidates.
Okay. And I would assume as the system grows, as more companies are hiring or using SourceX, you'd also be able to say that, okay, now for company A, you were shortlisting these candidates that applied over there, but company B has these needs, and some of those candidates may be suitable for those positions.
So it's definitely, so the database is definitely a proprietary for each customer. So there is no mix and match between customers' databases at the moment. But we do have a global database, and that is only made for the sourcing part. But besides that, so there's multiple features that we're working on. One of them is called SorsX GPT. And that is the uncover. Basically, you uncover talent from your database or your ecosystem. Let's assume that you have 1 million candidates that have gone through interviews. So our algorithms does not only take into consideration a resume or a LinkedIn profile, but it also takes into consideration an interview. So we can highlight the candidate's strengths, weaknesses, skills, and so on and so forth. So this is how we can build 360 of the candidate. So with SorsX GPT, you're able to identify talent in just a second by prompting and talking to an AI agent who can actually identify talent from within your ecosystem, and you can get to see their interview, get to see their information, and move them down that recruiting process.
Okay, all right. And I assume as suppose a candidate does the interview today, applies for a job today, 6 months down the road, apply for another job, and now SourceX has the information about that candidate from the previous one. So it would be building on in terms of their capacity to do the work, or any other areas of expertise or soft skills. It would be building the candidate's profile.
Correct. Yeah. So every company has its own, as I said, processes and procedures. But ultimately, I envision a world in the next few years, truly, where you will have a global recruiter powered by quantum computing, where you're not going to have a lot of these job boards and so many tools. I think it's going to be easy prompting and data on professional data for candidates is available today. And so it's kind of the enrichment of that data points. And so companies will be able to identify and hire people in probably hours versus days and weeks. And so this is kind of the goal and mission of SorsX.
All right. No, it's definitely, I would say it is revolutionary. in a way, the way you are going about it, it's going to change the whole recruitment industry. And so, how is the market responding to you from the bigger players who are already in this game? How they are responding to your competitors?
Yeah, so I think if you look about 8 years ago, you would see that companies have been kind of using a lot of bots to help kind of screen candidates and ask questions on websites, and so that's kind of been done before. You've also seen companies who've done interviewing pieces, but what has not been really done is kind of I think this is where we're going with this, is that companies today, believe it or not, are not even asking for it. So we have a feature on our platform that companies don't even have to ask candidates for their resumes. So a lot of applicants actually come and just conduct an interview, and that's how they can potentially select the candidate. And so this, the age of resumes, I think it's coming to an end very rapidly. And so as we're going down that path, what we're building a system here of record for candidates that identifies their strengths, weaknesses, using various kind of algorithmic thinking, and so with that, this is kind of what differentiates us, is that we're kind of building, that 10 years of experience that we have actually used at WadiTek. And we kind of create, we're kind of codifying the processes, we're codifying best practices, and we're thinking about 10 years ahead to build what is going to be the future of recruiting within SorsX.
Okay, I'm just curious. As you mentioned that the candidates won't even have to put in their resumes, and you'll be able to assess whether a candidate is a good fit for a job or not. Are you using any, or will you be looking into using any other sources to find information about that candidate? I give you an example. I live in Orange County. I fly out in and out from LAX, and now I don't have to show any identity on me. I can just walk through it through face recognition. They have everything that they need about me, and I don't have to stop anywhere. So, is this where recruitment may go into through your platform?
So I think what's going to happen, that consolidation of data across, I would say, various verticals on the human. I think in the next few years, I think this could potentially be it. I think one of the issues that we see sometimes is is this candidate fake? Is this candidate legit, for example? Are we interviewing a candidate? Are we sensing if the candidate is actually, reading? How do we know if they're not using AI? So a lot of the technologies and how candidates are kind of also interfacing with AI. So one thing is that what is that candidate experience looks like. So as candidates become, and as we as humans, as to your point now, you said you're going through Orange, you're going through LAX, and you're not even showing any identification. So you've gotten used to it, right? Now it's kind of the norm for you. And so I think as we go into, I think with this wave of AI, humans are adjusting. So on our platform, we have interviewed almost north of 8,000 people already on the platform. And so with that, we have collected actually feedback as well as ratings from every single candidate on the platform. And you can see that candidates are now getting used to it. So you get comments from candidates saying, wow, we can now see the future. We know it is very efficient. We can understand why companies are doing it. So as you go down that path, candidates will ultimately be open to sharing that information about themselves. And the enablement here is to actually help them find jobs. And if someone is looking for a job and that's the only way to get a job, then people are open to it.
Okay. Are you in your interviewing? skills that you're developing through the system. Are you also incorporating any psychometric tools to identify the behaviors or the cognitive, doing the cognitive assessments on these candidates?
At the moment, no. We're collecting data, but we're not necessarily doing anything in which it could be actually scientifically shareable with a client, I would say. So the questions are primarily technical, soft skills, but we're collecting data. We're experimenting with some features around psychometric data, some behavioral data, but we are also, we have to be cognizant of the fact that we have to be non-biased, and we have to take a lot of things into consideration when it comes to candidate. One thing I would say, that every candidate that comes through the door, even though they might not be qualified, companies continue to have that record. Everything is auditable. So one of the things that you also you might want to think about as companies could be interested in using a platform like SorsX is the fact that recruiters, from my perspective, are very subjective. One day they might not be feeling good. One day they might be feeling good. However, AI and the way the system works is that you are asking every single candidate the same questions. Every candidate is getting evaluated the same way, so it's very objective. And then finally, the recruiter that never sleeps and never forgets because you have a trail audit of the questions, the answers, and how the AI evaluated every question. We share that with the client, and they get to see it. And so everything is super objective and clear for companies.
All right. No, definitely. I'm very excited about this venture of yours. Where do you see it in the next 1 to 3 years?
Yeah, so we are in a phase now. We just recently soft launched. We've already captured clients, as I said, here in the United States and internationally. So we're very excited about continuously improving our algorithms, building some new features, and finally kind of building that, the vision for actually the Google Maps, where it is completely autonomous. Companies don't have to do any filtering. So as we're working towards that vision in the next couple of years and continuously growing, we're currently raising capital as well. And so as we go down that path, I think our vision is to be a truly a global recruiter where companies can come there and identify talent and find the right hire for their jobs in a very fast, efficient way, by helping them obviously reduce their overhead and the cost associated with hiring.
All right, thank you. My best wishes are with you, and looking forward to seeing you grow nationally and internationally. Thank you for being here today. Appreciate all the information that you shared. And what's the best way for our audience to reach out to you if they want to contact you?
Absolutely. So they can reach out to me on LinkedIn, AJ Faraj on LinkedIn, or they can go to our website. They can schedule a demo if they're interested in actually seeing a demo of our platform. And they can also email me at afaraj@sorsx.com if they have any information or they're interested in learning more about what we're doing here at SorsX.
And they can reach me at LinkedIn as well, Ali Quadri, and they can connect me through there, or they can also reach me through my email, which is aquadri@waditech.com.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, AJ, and thank you, Ali, for being here. Looking forward to seeing your success.
Thank you, Kashif. I appreciate your time, and I hope this was of use to the community.
Yeah, inshallah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alaikum.